Hey everyone, Tula here with Key Wellness, and in this video we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of what you need to do and what is involved with putting yourself at a frequency that will attract to you that which you desire. The actual nuts and bolts of manifesting. The question on most people's mind is, how do I know I'm at the same frequency as that which I want? How do I know what the frequency of that which I want is? So in the last video, we talked about the example of manifesting if you wanted to own a home. Now, a lot of people, as soon as they want something, their default behavior is to put themselves in a position of, oh, I really want this. I wish I had this. Some people will pray for it. Oh, please send me this, as they look to the sky above. Or they might even ask, hey, pray for me. I'm trying to make this happen. The problem with these things is that in each one of these cases, you are not creating or even co-creating your own destiny. What you've done is you have given up, surrendered, forfeited your divine human sovereignty. Now, as a human, you were created. Your divine essence is that which includes the ability to co-create here on the planet. That is why you have your consciousness. That is why you're a combination of spirit and physicality. You are more than your physical body, but you are also not just spirit. And the reason is because you're here to bridge the gap between the spiritual, the ethereal, and the tangible, the natural. You've been given a special talent. You've been given a special ability. You have a unique purpose, and you have been equipped to fulfill that purpose. But if you deny your ability and the unique gifts, talents, traits that are innate in you in order to enable you to fulfill that ability and that calling as a human being, you can't tap into them. You're giving them away. So when you put your power in somebody else, you go to somebody, oh, I want you to, maybe some people believe in some kind of magic art. So here, you make this happen for me. Or they turn to, and I'm not putting any of these things down, I'm just saying they're not necessary because the power is within you. But some people turn to minerals and oils and praying. But in all of these cases, you aren't looking in the one place you need to look when you want to co-create in this 3D existence, and that is within your own self. You're already hardwired to do it. And that's what all of these videos have been leading up to, explaining to you how you are uniquely crafted to interact with and affect the quanta in the quantum field and to participate in co-creating the reality around you. And the reason I say all this first is because I don't want you to give your power away. I don't want you to be looking any place outside of yourself for this ability. You've been created for this. Your purpose here is to co-create this earth, this world, this dimension. That's why you are part spirit and part natural. So how do you do that? We have to go all the way back to when we were talking about energy, and we explained how everything is energy, and if you affect things at the energetic level, it will come to fruition. It will manifest itself into the 3D. However, since everything is energy, and energy is frequency, and each frequency defines what something is, to get what you want, you must bring it in at the correct frequency. That's why then we talked about how different frequencies align with each other, and that when you want something, fundamental to bringing in what it is that you want is you must attract that particular frequency, and therefore you must be that frequency. And then magnetically, you will draw what it is that you want into your life. And that is exactly in line with what Albert Einstein said. So how do we know? This takes us back to that question. How do we know we're at that frequency? Well, the answer is simple. If you're talking about yourself, and you're talking about yourself in the position of whatever it is that you want, then you define the frequency. There's no set frequency out there. You define that frequency. And this is what I mean by that. What would be the frequency of you being the homeowner? It's certainly not the same frequency of you not being a homeowner. When we talked about the red and the blue, the red being lower and slower and the blue being faster and higher, it's kind of the same thing. They're on the same spectrum, but in different places. So you have the home ownership spectrum, if you will, and I'm pulling from Hermeticism here, but on the spectrum of home ownership, you are on the far left end of the spectrum in the does not own a home, or the right end, whatever. And then on the far opposite end is the person who owns the home of their dreams. So all that's involved is raising your frequency until you are at the frequency of the homeowner. Now, most people look at that, they hear that, and they go, well, how can I be at that frequency? I'm not the homeowner. I have to be the homeowner to be at that frequency. And that is the part that people get backward, and that's why they don't manifest. Instead, you get to define what that frequency is like. And how do you do that? You become, in your mind, the person that owns the home. Now, the reason this works is that your mind, we talked about the conscious and the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, its job is to interact with the quantum field. Its job is to be like your transmitter and your receiver. It is your conscious mind that is making connection with the 3D world around you, making decisions, generating thoughts, emotions. Your subconscious mind does not filter, judge, question, second guess whatever information it receives from your conscious mind. It just accepts it. And then what it does is it responds to whatever that information is. Think of it like a faithful puppy. Whatever you tell it, it doesn't question it. It just obeys. So if you begin to live your life every day as though you already owned that home that you want, you will, just by acting and placing yourself, and I'm not talking about faking it, I'm talking about really, really in your mind, generate every single thought and emotion that is what it would be like if you had your home. That will put you on a frequency, and that will also continue to feed the message to your subconscious mind, because it doesn't know. It only knows what you tell it. So the conscious mind is saying every day, wow, I love this home that I have. I have a great home. I'm so thankful for my home. And you're envisioning yourself in your home day in and day out. You wake up in the morning. As you're walking into your bathroom to brush your teeth, you're envisioning yourself walking into the bathroom of your new home. That thought goes from the conscious mind into the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't even question it. It's thinking, oh, wow, we're in the bathroom of our new home, brushing our teeth in our new home. That is what it transmits out to the quantum. And the quantum responds by matching that frequency. It doesn't care either. It's just going to generate something, and it will generate that. But instead, if you're walking around going, I'm still in this apartment. Oh my gosh, I wish I could get a new home. When am I going to get a new home? Well, now you're at a frequency of lack, and your subconscious mind hears that. And that's the signal that it sends out. That's what it transmits. That's what goes to the quantum. And the quantum goes, and it sends that back, because everything is there. Everything is there. It is just a matter of what you pluck. And how do you pluck from it? Put yourself on the frequency. I'm going to share my most recent manifestation. I've not even finished it, but I'm going to go ahead and share it because I know it's coming. Everything's set up. I have this wonderful house. I manifested this house in another video. I think I talk about how I manifested this house. But one of the things that it needed was a new roof. Well, there's over 6,000 square feet of new roof needed on this house. It's a big job. It's also a big chunk of change, right? Over 6,000 square feet of roofing. Not to mention that when I do it, I also want to do all new gutters because I want to put a metal roof on the house. It's going to need all new decking underneath. There's a bunch of upgrades I want to make. So most people would say, well, I need the money. I need the money. I don't go about manifesting that way. I go about manifesting what it is I want. It is way easier for me. Now, some people can relate to money, but I don't put a lot of value. If you listen to my other videos, I don't place a lot of value on money. I see it as worthless paper, right? It's a vehicle, but it's a vehicle that accomplishes something. So it is a means to an end. But if I can manifest the end, then I'm happy. Okay. So instead of focusing on the money, I focus on the roof. So what did I do? I would go outside every day and I'd look at my house and I'd envision the exact roof I want on it. And I said, oh, thank you. Oh, I love my house with this gorgeous new roof. Just stand there in the front yard marveling at the roof, walking around and looking at it. And yes, thank you. I love this new metal roof. It's fantastic. Just what I wanted. Just what I wanted. And just hearing me say those words would bring up my vibration, but my subconscious is hearing it. And it's hearing it every day as I take a walk and marvel at my new roof, which is not there, okay? My subconscious doesn't know it's there. It just hears me saying how great this beautiful roof is. So that is the vibration that it generates. That is what went to the quantum. So how did I end up with my new roof? Very much the same way I ended up with most of the other things I've shared that I've manifested. A hurricane came. Now, when you manifest, you don't try to dictate to the universe how it's going to happen. You just put your intention out there. Let the universe worry about what happens between the moment you send out your intention and the moment it manifests. Don't worry about what happens in between. That's not up to you. Let the universe do all the, somersaults and jumping through hoops. Your job is just to say, look at this. I love what I have before you have it. So after doing this, a hurricane came. Now, this was a really, really wet hurricane. It wasn't a very windy hurricane. A big windy hurricane came after it. But this particular hurricane was just very, very wet. Hurricane Debbie. And somehow, between the wind and how much water was coming down, it managed to work its way between the chimney and the roof and down the chimney into the living room. So I got the living room ceiling wet. And it's a plaster house, so, all around the fireplace, marble fireplace. And it was kind of like, oh, that kind of messed it up. And I had recently painted it. Anybody else would say, oh, well, it's insurance. So, of course your insurance is going to pay. Well, first of all, insurance companies are never in a hurry to pay. But the thing is, again, you focus on what you want. And you let the universe take care of it. So in this instance, I called the insurance company. Before I called them, I just manifested for someone who would be fair, that this person would be honest and not try and cheat. Because I've had bad experiences with insurance companies in the past, and I expected the worst. But instead, they sent someone out, he looked, and while I'm no expert on roofing, I really didn't see anything that I thought they were just going to go, well, we'll just patch up here, there. Nope. The guy put in for replacing the entire roof. 6,100, almost 6,200 square feet of roofing. We're going to replace the entire thing. What? Okay, well, I manifested, right? That's what I wanted. So I'm working this out with the insurance companies. I have questions. I call the guy. We get in a conversation. And I said, well, sure, if you look at the pictures, the guy came out, he took pictures. So the adjuster on the other end of the phone is looking at pictures now because I mentioned them in this phone conversation. Now, I'm not orchestrating anything at this point, just having a conversation. I've already put my intention out there. And he says, well, wait. And I said, what? He goes, what's under your roofing? This looks like spaced decking, which I didn't even know what that was. And I said, well, what is spaced decking? He goes, well, it's where you have boards because it's an older home. I wanted a historic home. And I said, yeah. And I thought, oh no, here it comes. He said, let me check your policy. You're in Georgia, right? I said, yeah. Well, it turns out that Georgia has a code that if an insurance company is going to pay for a repair, and the house is not up to the current code, which an older house would not be with that kind of decking under the roofing, then they are required to rebuild it to code. But what he asked me is, he said, did you buy? And then he looked, and I remember that when I was buying the policy, the girl on the other end had some special rider. And I said, well, what does that do? And she explained, well, in Georgia, and she explained to me what I just explained to you. And she said, so if you buy this, it's just another $16 a month. But if you ever need a repair at no extra cost to you, we will repair it to whatever the standard is. And I thought, well, I don't know what I'll find in this house if I ever have a claim. Who knows what code is and what code is not. So sure, $16 a month, go ahead, throw it in there. Well, sure enough, that is the exact clause that when he looked at that, he goes, well, we are going to have to put all new decking on, yeah, all new decking on your entire home. And we need to do that to have it up to Georgia's code, which is to make the roofing strong enough for hurricanes. So I am going to get an entire new roof, already had them out, did a quote, and it would have happened already by now, except for Helene came right away, put everything on hold, and now there's many other people with far more dire needs for a roof than me. So I literally told them, I said, just, you can hold off on mine. Please take care of these people who don't have a roof at all at this point. So I have every confidence that the universe has already put everything in place, and I'm just waiting. I did not dictate to the universe how it was to happen. I simply said, thank you for this. And I envisioned it, and I celebrated it, and I put myself at that energy, and then I just let it come to me like a magnet. And you have to have that kind of confidence. And I don't say faith. It is not a faith. You're not believing or hoping for anything. There's no blindness involved. It is science. It is a confidence that you get. Just like if you lay a magnet down next to metal shards, they will go to the magnet. It is the same thing. Once you put that out there, you put yourself at the vibration, you just carry on in confidence. If you set a magnet down, you don't sit there and wonder whether it's actually this time going to draw the shards to it. No, you don't question that, and in the same way, you don't question this. Furthermore, you don't question this because the moment you give in to doubt, you're putting yourself at that frequency. So you keep yourself at the frequency that is confident and grateful for that which you know is already done in the quantum field. All you're waiting for it to do is, and this is why it's called manifesting, you are simply waiting for it to manifest in the 3D, manifest in the natural physical world. That's the only difference. It's already happened. As soon as you put it into the quantum, it has happened. Now, before I close, I want to reiterate again what happens when you do not manifest for what it is you want. Every day, every moment of your life, you are transmitting energy. You are transmitting a frequency. You are sending out an energetic signature or message into the quantum. Every day. As long as you're alive, you can't not send out a signal. If you do not control what signal it is you are sending out, then by default, you will get whatever you send. So if you are walking around in a negative place, you will continue to attract negativity to you. That's just the way it is. If you drop a magnet, you can't will for it not to draw something that you don't want the magnet to attract. It is the same way. You are going to draw something to you. If you allow anyone or anything to manipulate your energy, your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, then someone else is controlling what you will manifest into your reality. So let me give you an example, and I'm going to go over the 20 minutes, but this is worth it. If you sit at home every night and watch the evening news and you are filled every day with the horrors and the scare tactics and there's this terrible thing about to happen. Oh, there was a school shooting. Oh, there's a hurricane. Oh, there's wildfires. Oh, the world is coming to an end. Climate change and everything else that you're bombarded with. Then you will degrade into a frequency of fear and trauma and disappointment and disillusionment and sadness and anger and frustration and hopelessness. And guess what you will attract? Long before you feel enslaved by the economics of the world around you or your job or anything else, you are manifesting that because you allowed yourself to be enslaved energetically first. Do your shadow work. Get rid of the negativity. Put yourself in a positive place. If you need to, stop watching TV. I got rid of TV in 2007 and I do not miss it. I don't watch the news and it hasn't affected my life one iota. Other than that, it has improved it because it makes it much easier to stay on a positive vibration. So get those things out of your life so that you can stay focused. Do not let anyone or anything dictate to you or manipulate for you your energetic signature. And that is the mistake most people make. They do not take control of their energy, and it is out there. It is out there anyway, and someone else is using it. And that's a whole nother topic, as is how to control your energetic signature and doing your shadow work. These are all things that I help my clients with because it's critical to take control of your life and be that divine, sovereign human being that you were created to be. These are all other deeper topics. And I will say this about co-creating. The more people you co-create with, the more powerful. The more people you co-create for, the more powerful. But again, these are all things I get into the specifics with people that I coach so that they can do their most powerful manifesting. You take control of your energy. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. You are pure energy, and only you, as a human being, have the ability to consciously control your energy and how that energy interacts with the quantum field. Only you. Nothing else on this planet can do that, but you have that ability. So learn how to use it and live your best life ever. This is Tula signing out. Have a great day.